Hey everyone, thanks again for tuning into this MLS Touch training. It is the last training on this application, and it's built all the way around branding and sharing your app with your clients and all of the special features that it has that is encompassed within this MLS Touch application. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video from our board office that was shared. If you have any questions, let me know and we can try to figure it out, but I hope that it brings you lots of value. So let's jump in.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to this webinar on how to create your own branded app with your MLS Touch application. My name is Marie Leduc. I'm the training manager here at Prospects. We're the makers of MLS Touch. And during the next 45 minutes or so, I'll show you how you can create your own branded app, share it with your clients, and then keep tabs on your clients and engage with them in a very easy way through your MLS Touch application. So just so you guys know, here's what in general what we're going to cover. So yes, first I want to talk about brand and share, this feature that allows you to accomplish everything that I've just mentioned so far. We'll dig into that first. Then I'll show you how to personalize your app and then share it with whoever you want. And then I'll demonstrate the various ways you have of engaging and keeping tabs on your client that are using this app through your MLS Touch application. And there is a question period. The question period won't be included in the recording, but for those of you attending live, I'll definitely give you the opportunity of asking me any questions you have when we're done, in case you do have questions following this presentation. So let's get started. So first of all, what is brand and share? That feature that is available in MLS Touch. Well, its name is sort of telling. I'm sure you'll agree. It will let you brand not just the app that we're going to be talking about today, but the whole experience that you'll be providing your customers through MLS Touch with the logo and colors of your choice, so that your brand is always top of mind. You're clearly identified, and well, when it comes to the app, it's going to make it look like it was designed specifically for you. This is what my app looks like, because my brand is Blue Ocean Real Estate, and so that's why that's what you're looking at right now. And the share part, well, it's because after you've set up your branding, as soon as you're done personalizing this branding, then you'll be able to share this app in various ways to whomever you want. And of course, we're going to encourage you to at least share it with your active buyers, because they're definitely going to benefit right away from this little extra service that you'll provide them. But share it with the world, right? Because, and I'll touch a little bit more on that during the presentation, it's that this branded app, it acts like a lead generator. Anybody new that installs this app is invited to enter their contact details before they can start using it, and these contact details will be sent to you as a new lead. So, and this can snowball, right? Because maybe you're sending it to one of your active buyers. Your active buyer loves it. That buyer tells all their friends about it, shares its installation link with them. They install it, they start using it. You get all their contact info, and it can go from there, right? So, anyways, there, and so like I said, not only will, when you set up your branding, right, will it affect the app itself, but if you send listings to anybody, no matter if it's by text message or email, the feature, the listing details will use those colors and that logo as well. And for those of you who are already benefiting from our Facebook publishing tool, the MLS Touch Facebook publishing tool, or are planning on it, the Facebook publications that MLS Touch will publish in your behalf, like for your new listings, your open houses, recently solds, and price reductions, those will also use your logo and those colors. So it's to your advantage to do that right from the start, right? Set up your branding, which is why that's the first thing I want to cover with you guys. Some of you want to jump the gun and want me to show you how to share the app. But first, I want to show you how to customize it. Some of you don't necessarily know how to go about it. So let's start with that. And I'll be demonstrating all of this live on my iPhone, by the way. And feel free to follow along if you have the app, the MLS Touch app installed on your end, just so that you can have a feeling for it immediately during this presentation. But it's not mandatory. You can easily just follow on my screen if need be. So how do you customize your app? Well, you can do so in seconds, and that's through the More menu of your MLS Touch application. So you'll have to press on the More menu, and then brand and share, because that's what that's what we're talking about today. So More, then brand and share. Here the next screen just briefly sums up what brand and share is all about. I already did this with you, so let's just continue. And then it's with this screen here that you can set up your brand. So you have two things you have to do, not just can, you have to do. You have to select your logo and select the colors. Hopefully that will match your logo so that everything looks great. When you're about to select your logo, keep in mind that MLS Touch will let you pick exclusively from the photo gallery or photo album of your device. So make sure before you get to this point that you have the perfect image that you want to use as your logo, perfect as is, on your smartphone or tablet, whichever device you're working on. Carrie's asking me, so do I have to have an Apple phone? No. Maybe some of you did not attend our main webinar on MLS Touch. We touch on how to get your hands on MLS Touch and which compatible devices can MLS Touch be installed on. And it's any Apple or Android device, as long as they're still supported by the manufacturer. So as long as you can keep it up to date, right, with the latest updates for the operating system, no matter if it's iOS or the Android operating system. So when you select your logo, like I said, it's going to ask you to pick from the images on your device. If it's the first time you ever do this, it may even ask you authorization to access those images, right? Make sure you authorize it. And then you'll be able to browse through all the images that are on your device and pick the one you want to use as is as your logo. I have I actually have my old and my new logo. I'm going to use my new logo, my Blue Ocean logo, but I don't know if you've noticed, I had a bunch of other logos available there. And by the way, there is a recommended size for that logo. It's actually written right here on this screen, but you may want to write it down just in case so that you don't have to dig all the way there to be reminded what the recommended size is. So its size is 400 by 100 pixels. So that's the recommended size. But even if your image is not quite that size, or you're not sure what size it is, you may still be able to work with that image no matter what. Let me explain. Do you see my logo in the center, right? Let me just move it with my finger just on the side for a second. See that box in the center of my device? Do you see it? That rectangle box? Hopefully you can see it. Maybe my device is too small for you to notice it, but there is a rectangle box in the center of this screen here. And as long as whatever you want to see as a logo fits in there to your liking, you're good to go. So if your logo was just a tiny bit too small, right, for your taste, well, use your fingers to zoom in on the image, right, or zoom out. You can move the image around. Again, as long as it's nicely centered and it looks great, nothing's cut off, it's in the box, you're good to go. And then when you're done, we'll just press the done button and your logo is set. That's the first part. The second part of the customizing of your app is picking your colors. There's 3 colors to pick: your main, accent, and headers colors. So press on each colored circle, and then with the color wheel, you can pick the color of your choice. In my case, you know what? I don't really quite like that blue. I didn't pick the correct blue here. I'm just gonna darken it a bit more and remove a little bit of green from it and darken it with that slider at the bottom. I think this is better. I think so, I'm not quite sure. Okay, there you go. So you pick the color of your choice, you change its brightness with the slider at the bottom if need be, and when you're done, press the done button, and then boom, your color is picked. Yeah, I think this is the correct blue. The one I had before was not quite it, but see, and do that for the 3 colors. And when you're done making your selection, make sure to save it at this button here, the apply colors and logo button. That's what it's for. So I'm going to save it because I did change at least a color in my logo. And then if you're not sure it's going to look great, preview it. You'll be able to preview anything that will be taking this branding into consideration. That includes the app that we'll be talking about throughout this session. And that's it. That's customizing your app. That's pretty straightforward, right? But please note that you won't be able to move forward if you don't pick both the logo and colors of your choice, right? So if you don't quite have the perfect image you want to use as a logo on your device yet, don't even bother starting, because you won't be able to save except if you have both the logo and colors selected at this point. Okay, after that, well, we're definitely going to encourage you to share your app, right, with your customers. And this app, for those of you who don't know what it's about, it's basically to give your clients the mobile search app that they deserve, right? Because most apps out there, either they're not quite that user friendly or not that great. They don't necessarily provide your clients with access to all the listings on the market either. Maybe they're not that accurate either when it comes to the data that it provides. And some apps out there that your clients could be using to browse the MLS, they may be tempting, right? They may show the contact details of listing agents, of other agents that have paid to have their name displayed right there on screen when they're browsing for properties. And so with this app, you're providing them with an app that's reliable, easy to use, that looks like it's your app, right? It's as if it was designed for you. And on top of that, it will only show your contact details, no one else's. And you'll be able to keep tabs on them and engage with them from your MLS Touch application if they're using your app. That's pretty cool, right? That's very big incentives, right, in considering using this app and then sharing it with your clients. So to share your app with anybody, it's from the same screen that you'll be able to do so. See the share my app button at the bottom, the green button, that's what it's for. And when you press on it, it leads you to a second screen here where you have the means of sharing this app by text message or by email to whomever you want. So Carrie is asking me, is this app the California Regional MLS? So the app that you'll be sharing with your clients this way, it's your app and it taps into the same database that you tap into when you're using MLS Touch. The only difference is that they only have access to the public data, so only active listings and only the details that are technically for the public's eye, right? You with MLS Touch, you have access to all of the data from your MLS, not just the active, but sold off markets and all the details that is for our eyes only as realtors, right? Like showing instructions, private remarks, addendum, and so forth. So anyways, there. And by the way, the first person that I recommend that you share this app with is yourself. Make sure to test out your very own app and get the hang of it, right? And when you're satisfied, you know how it works, you've tested it, it looks good, then start sharing it with, well, for sure, your active buyers, right? And if you've already added them to your contacts in MLS Touch, you'll be able to easily pick them from your list of contacts and just send it off to them, either by email or text message, like I said, with those buttons that we see on screen. But I do encourage you to not stop there. Send yourself the installation link, and then you can, after that, copy it and then maybe share it in multiple additional ways. I don't know, is anybody planning a mailing shortly? If so, well, I do recommend that you add this to your mailer, right? Tell all your your network that you have a new app and they should install it. Add this installation link to your email signature, right? So that anybody you send an email to is reminded that you do have an app that they can start using, and go from there. And if you have a Facebook page, we'll share that link on your Facebook page to all your Facebook followers, right? They may be able to benefit from it too. Doug is asking me, if we share it, do they show up as a client in the app? Well, that's the thing. Yes, they do. Right? So anybody new that's not already in your contacts in MLS Touch, if they install the app, they'll come in as a new lead. That's the next thing I want to show you. And I already have a client of mine that installed it earlier, yesterday, I think. I did it on purpose to wait until I was with you guys to show you how that works. So anytime somebody new installs your app, first of all, you'll be notified. MLS Touch does have a notification system, and you'll be notified because we want you to be able to take action as soon as possible when that happens, or at least be aware of it. And what do you do when you get the notification? Well, the notification will tell you to go check out your leads, and you do have all your leads will come in. Your leads from that app will come in under your contacts. See my contacts button at the bottom? It has a little bullet that says 1. That means that I have one thing that requires my attention in my contacts. And I figured that it's my new lead. Let's go check it out. Yeah, it's my new lead. See now the red bullets next to leads, that leads button at the top. So I'll press on that. And yes, it was Tom Byer, the person that just installed my app, that did come in as a new lead when he installed it. So I can press on his name. And what's really cool is that, yes, sometimes it'll be people that you already know, that you shared, you voluntarily shared your app with, that come in as a new lead. Feel free to just accept them as a client, as a contact when that happens, like Tom in this case. But if it's somebody that you don't know, right? Maybe it was a friend of a friend of a friend, or somebody that stumbled on your Facebook page and saw that you shared your the link to your app on your Facebook page and just decided to install it. Well, you do have the means of getting in touch with them, right, to get acquainted before you accept them as a new lead, right? Just in case you only want to start engaging and keeping tabs on people that are, I don't know, let's say serious buyers, right? So you'd be able to call them up, text message them, or email them with the contact details that they've provided when they've installed your app. In this case, I'm definitely going to accept Tom as a contact, because it's definitely worth it. Because he's one of my active buyers, I know. So there you go. Oh, and it looks like it found another contact that had the same email address. So I have I have to choose if I want to create a totally new contact or just merge it with an existing contact. So this might happen, right? If you already have, let's say, a buyer, an active buyer in your contacts, and they come in as a new lead for whatever reason. In this case, I'm going to create a new contact because Tom is totally different than Andy. So there you go, boom, select. And then from then on, well, I have Tom in my contacts. Didn't have to do any data entry of any kind. He did it for me basically when he installed my app. And from his contact record, I'll be able to, of course, view his contact details, but I'll be able to keep tabs on him because in my app that he's going to start using, he already has been using, I'm not sure, he installed it yesterday. He can add properties to his favorites, his possibilities, his discards. He can send me messages so we can chat with each other. And so through his contact record in my MLS Touch application, I'll be able to look up all of that, all of these details. So that's pretty cool, right? So anyways, there. So make sure anytime MLS Touch sends you a notification, it should be clear what it's about. And if it's a new lead and you don't want to lose any opportunities, you want to take care of it immediately, then you know where to go, right? Just follow the red bullets, and it'll tell you where to go and what to handle, right? No matter if it's a new lead or something else. And yes, some of you were asking me if they add properties to their favorites, am I notified? Yes, you are. Same concept, same thing. You'll get notified and follow the red bullets. It'll tell you if there's anything new. Like for instance, oh, see, Tom has a red bullet. next to his name, right? See the red bullet next to contacts and next to his name. So if I press on his name, oh, well, I guess he was already busy. He already started using my app. He already added properties to his favorites, his possibilities, and his discards. And it's, like I said, it's through his contact record that I'd be able to look all of that up. With the message button, I'd be able to start chatting with them, exchanging messages, and anything, any listing I send to Tom from now on will be available under the sent listings under his name. And by the way, who here uses Matrix as an MLS? Raise your hand. So by the way, for you guys, there's an even bigger incentive of using this app and engaging with your clients through MLS Touch is because everything is synced with Matrix in the client portal. So that means that sent listings will show us everything we've sent to Tom, including what was sent in Matrix. That's cool, right? Even if it's with auto emails, everything. If they use the client portal, right? Anything that they add to their favorites, possibilities, discards, we'll see here too, because the branded app that we're sharing with them is basically the mobile version of the client portal for them, right? So they have a better mobile experience by using your branded app than just trying to log into the client portal from their device, which in my opinion is a little bit clunky. I don't know if you guys agree. So just by doing that, you're offering a better mobile experience to your clients. And from your MLS Touch application, you can manage all of it. Who's excited about all of that? So of course, yes, Matrix users, you have even more reasons of wanting to use this than anybody else. Okay, anyways, there. So at this point, me and Tom were connected, right? My MLS Touch application and the branded app that I provided him, they're connected. So we can start, I can start engaging with him whenever I want. For instance, instead of using my normal MLS, mine is Matrix. Whenever I need to send a listing to Tom, we're not going to consider auto emails because I personally will always set up them with auto emails for sure. But let's say that I have a listing that I stumbled upon doesn't quite meet his criteria, but I think it would be still a good fit for him. In this case, I had it in my favorites. I saved it in my favorites. Well, I can easily just send Tom this property, and I can send it by email or text message. It's really up to me to decide. But if I want this property to also be pushed to Tom in that branded app and the client portal, right? So you can look at those from any of these tools later on, not just have to dig in his inbox or his text messages to find it. Here's how I'd go about it. I'd pull up the listing. Let's send him this townhouse here. I'm sure he'd like it. So I pull up the listing, and then you guys might already notice, if you know MLS Touch, there's a way of sending these listings by email or text message. In this case, we're going to send Tom the property by email because that's what he prefers. That's what he told me. And to be sure that not only Tom gets this in his inbox, that he also can find that property in the app and the client portal, I have to make sure I pick Tom from my list of contacts, which can be accomplished from here. Do you see it? It's that little plus button at the top, right? So I'll press on that. I'll choose Tom. There you go. I could write a little note to introduce the listing, right? If I want to say something about the listing to Tom before I send it off. And when I'm done, I want to send everything off. I press on send, and instantly it sends it off by email. And not only that, but I'll be able to keep track of it, and he will be able to through the client portal and the branded app. That's fairly easy, right? And Tom's already in my contacts, right? I didn't even have to do the data entry because Tom did it for me when he installed my app. That's the beauty of it, right? So that's one thing. That's one way of course, engaging with your client is just sending them listings either by text message or by email. And they'll also get it through the app for sure. And they'll get notified through the app, by the way. They also get notifications to make sure they know what requires their attention, right? What could be important to see in the app that you've provided them. And and now let me just show you. If I go back to Tom's contact details, right? Now I have, right? And it makes sense, right? Now I have one sent email, sent listing, right? And Tom could easily, if he's in the app, then move it to his favorites if he likes it, or to his discards if he hates it, right? Whatever he needs to do, right? So anyways, there. And like I told you, there is the other way, the obvious other way of engaging with your clients is by starting a conversation, right? You can do so with the message button that's available under their name. Let's send a quick message to Tom. Maybe, let's ask him if he likes my app so far, because he's definitely been using it. So I'll send him a message. And I'll just ask, how do you like my app? Hopefully he'll see it so far. There you go. Thank God for autocorrect, or I'd be in trouble. Okay, perfect. There you go. And that's it. And hopefully he'll respond before we're done here today. I don't know if he's actually using the app, but hopefully he is. But anyways, there. And I can always pull up the conversation that I've had with Tom with that message button. I can also find the conversation, all the conversations that I have active under the messages button here in the bottom of the home screen. So that's another way of looking up the conversations that you've had so far with anybody. Okay, so there. What if I want to talk to Tom about a specific property though? Oh wait, hold on a second. I've got notifications. Do you see that? Got a message. Maybe it's Tom. Yes, it is. And see, I do have a bunch of conversations going, not just with Tom. And yeah, he loves it. That's perfect. Okay. Where was I? Oh yes, I wanted to show you how you can potentially start a conversation about a specific property. Let's say that I did look up, well, let's do it together. I'll go check Tom under my contacts. I'm looking at his favorites, and let me pull up this listing that he added to his favorites. Okay, we got listed 67 days ago. Maybe I can look at the showing instructions, right? Send a message to, we'll say Tom. You send a message to Tom. Oh, some of you are telling me you can't see my screen. Let me just refresh my screen real quick. You guys see it? Thank you, Dana. You're the only one that spoke out. Can you see my screen now? Is it still frozen? Hopefully not. So the send and message button, see in that toolbar, you may have to swipe your finger over to see the send and message button, right? Because there's a bunch of buttons in that toolbar. They don't all fit on screen. The send and message button will let you attach the listing details of the property to the message you're about to send Tom. So if I want to make sure Tom knows which property I'm talking about, when I'm telling him, hey, I can show you this one this weekend, that's what I'd be using. Let me show you how it works. I press the send and message button, then I pick who I want to send it to. I want to send it to Tom. And see in the message box now, I'm back in Tom's conversation. There's the summary of the properties, right, that he'll be able to press on, which will be attached to my message. So I'll just write, wanna see this one over the weekend. Oh, autocorrect's failing me. Sorry, guys. Let me just correct everything. There you go. Okay, perfect. And then boom, I'm sending it. So it's as easy as that. You're just sending this message to Tom. And now if he's not sure what property I'm talking about, and I can do the same, we can both just press on that summary, that preview, and see the details of the property I was referring to. That's cool too, right? So again, easier than potentially telling Tom to scroll up all of our conversation in a normal conversation in text message. Here at least, we everything that we discuss, it's all related, it's exclusively related to real estate, and I can refer to properties this way easily. He can easily open them, right? Because we're having this conversation in the app, and move forward if need be. And you guys already know, right, that let's say Tom says yes, right, I have everything I need to get in touch with the listing agent, because there's a contact agent button available, right, at the bottom of any listing details. And if I'm not sure how to go about requesting the showing, I want to make sure I do it right. I have access to the showing instructions. And some of you who benefit from either touch base, showing time, CSS, or links, you have access to these tools with the help of the showing request button. So everything is there at your fingertips, right? To be super efficient while you're engaging with your clients through MLS Touch. That's amazing, right? I really love this. So anyways, there. And let me go back to the favorites, possibilities, and discards of Tom. Let's say that we talk about this property and we realize, both Tom and I, that it's not really quite the correct fit, or maybe it's later, maybe I did show him this property and we realized that it wasn't what he was looking for. I can help Tom by managing his favorites, possibilities, and discards. Like maybe I want to move this one to his discards because there's no point in talking about it anymore. So I can do it for him. And this will be not only updated on my end, it'll update his favorites, possibilities, and discards on his end in the app and the client portal and matrix if he's using that as well. So all of that, right, makes for a better mobile experience, not just for your clients, right, but for you as well. And don't forget, like I said, your branded app acts like a lead generator. Anybody new that uses it will provide you with their contact details, and it's going to make your life easy, right? Because they'll come in under your contacts. You'll be able to just accept them to add them. And then if you benefit from the matrix integration, which most of you matrix users do already, that list of contacts is shared with the matrix. So I was going to say no more data entry. That's not true, but it will minimize the data entry you'll have to do, right, in general, because of this great integration with your matrix system. So who's excited about brand and share now that you know about it? Pretty simple, easy, and fun, right? And it's going to help you add value, right? You'll add extra little services to your clients and provide them, like I said, with a better mobile experience, which is what we all want nowadays, right? Because we're all most of the time on our smartphones or tablets. We're rarely in front of a computer, right, in general, and compared to before, especially when it comes to buying, selling homes. So that being said, that's it for me and Brand and Share. In a few moments.
All right, that concludes this presentation on branding and sharing your app with your clients. I hope that you guys got some stuff out of it, but if not, please let us know and I will try to help you in person, navigate through this and get you set up. So again, reach out to me anytime, and thanks so much for watching.